Hey folks, this is Johnny. Welcome to another home studio trainer show. Now this question came up while trying to master the song that I showed you in the last video. And one of the questions was actually adjusting timing within a song or maybe even locking it to the grid. Well, with freestyle stuff, you really don't want to lock it to any grid because it's going to take a long time to actually line up to the grid. And it's going to. Oh, you know what? It's dark in here. Let's try. Hey! so what I'm going to show you here is I'm going to show you a couple of ways to adjust the timing of a song. Now, sometimes it's just a matter of moving a track over. Maybe it needs to line up more with the downbeats, or maybe it needs to line up with the loop, and I'll show you that. Or maybe you need the drums to actually push the beat a little bit. Instead of kind of being right on time, you want the drums just a hair ahead to give it that driving feel. It's something that I learned, when I was jamming with a band. And being a drummer in a band is not as easy as you think, especially when your musicians are locked into their own tempo and you have to try to keep up. All right, so if you guys could, I'd really appreciate it if you would like this video, subscribe to my channel, and become a member if you wish. You can also go to Patreon and support me over there. There's so many other things over there on Patreon that I can't put on YouTube, so please check it out if you get a chance. I'd really appreciate it. And or you could just become a member here, support the channel, and it'll help me continue to do these crazy things. All right, so let's go to the classroom. So I just put this thing together. And originally, I was just going to deal with the delay setting. And then I realized that the bend tool has a nice little function as well if you want to actually get the feel of the song right. And I'll show you what I mean. All right, so here's the little ditty. It's really a nothing song. Hopefully, I don't get a copyright strike, and it's out there from something else. And it is here. Not too sure about the tuning on the bass, but you guys get the general idea. All right, so let's do this. I actually want to put Pro EQ here because I'm hearing something that went a little bit brighter, but I want that before the limiter. Let's see. There we go. It was sounding a little dark there. Now, I don't have any processing on any of the other tracks, so I just put it on the main out. All right, so the first thing I want you to listen to is I want you to listen to how it loops. And what you're going to hear is you're going to hear the very beginning of the end note conflict with the very beginning of the first note. So you see how locked in I am on the first note? Well, for the most part. But if you look at the end, before it loops, it looks like these two guitars are starting just a hair before. So what you're going to hear when it loops is you're going to hear a double hit on the acoustics. Just barely. Watch me solo them. See, you hear a drum. Almost like a flam. So what we're going to do is, and if you look on many of the first notes, I'm a little bit before the click. Now, I've deliberately quantized the drums. Played it on my drum kit, brought it in here, and I quantized the drums because I want something to the grid to be able to express these examples. All right, so you can see, like I said, that some of my hits are before the actual downbeat. So what I want to do is I'm going to use the bend tool to drag these two to the actual end so that when it loops, you don't hear that double hit. So I'm going to take this track here. I'm going to take this one first. I'm going to go over here into the inspector, and I'm going to click bend marker. Boom, there we go. So now it's inverted so I can see the bend markers. And I'm going to go up here. I'm going to take the bend tool. And I'm going to make sure that the snapping is off. And I'm going to take the beginning of this note and I'm just going to move it to the downbeat. And I'm going to take the beginning of this guitar stroke. Oops. Go ahead and go back here. Put this in bend marker 2. There we go. Go back to the bend tool. You can see the marker that I put. I'm going to move that right there. There. So now, if you go back and you look at some of the other ones, now they're on beat. Some of them are a little early, but those won't be as noticeable as it will when it loops. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to the pointer. Take this track, take the bend mode off. Go to this one and also take the bend marker mode. So now nobody's the wiser. But the big difference is when you hear it loop. It's perfect. It's seamless. You don't even realize that it's actually looping. So now, what does that do with the drums and the bass? So let's go ahead and unmute those. Let's see if it's just as smooth without those. Perfect. Okay, so we've fixed that little bit of timing. So now, if it's just a section that you want, to actually use the bend marker with, all you have to do is put another bend marker before the part where it starts to stray, and just from there. I do have another video on using the bend marker to actually show you how to create a zone and move beats within it. I'll see if I can link it to this video. All right, so we've taken care of that little bit of timing. So now, what do we have here? What we're going to do now is we're going to listen to the song, and we're going to use the delay option, which is right here. And we're going to use that to see if the drums need to be just a little bit ahead of the beat so that it actually drives the mix. Now, many of you probably aren't going to feel the adjustment that I'm going to make, so I'm going to over-exaggerate and then under-exaggerate and see if you guys can hear the difference, so just kind of bear with me on this. All right, so here is the song as it stands. I'm going to turn the snapping back on so that I get it there. All right, so as the song stands, tell me if the drums could drive or push the beat a little more. Okay, so if I select the track that I'm looking for, you can see the delay there is no delay. So now what I want the drums to come a little bit just before the actual beat. Just to kind of give the song a push. Now, for those of you that aren't drummers or you don't really feel, adjustments like this, I do apologize if you don't. So I'm going to try to see if I can make it really noticeable. All right, so I'm going to take this, and now I am going to roll my mouse back, and I'm going to have it come about, 30 milliseconds. So now, let's see what this sounds like. Okay, so now you know what that time does? I don't know if you guys can feel that. The drums are actually too fast. It almost seems like the tempo of the drums is faster, but it's actually not. It's actually so far ahead, it gives you the sense that the drums are faster. All right, so let's go ahead and bring it more. Let's see if I can actually do this here. Let's see if I can bring it more. To more like 20? Let's do 20. Let's see how that works. Okay, it still seems a little fast. I'm kind of thinking that the original setting was actually the best. But in that case, I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to go to 10. So minus 10, I should say. There we go. So let's see. Okay, that actually feels good to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back one more time, and I'm going to just bring it to 0. So now I haven't moved the drums at all, and I want to see if my original feel actually was the best. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, so I think that I pretty much I nailed the playing a little bit, but don't forget that I did make the guitars a hair later by adjusting them with the bend tool. So that might have fixed any issue with the driving push of the song that I was kind of feeling that inspired me to do that part of the video. So the delay settings and the bend markers to line things up, that can all be extremely useful when you're actually trying to get your timing down. One person suggested using Melodyne and syncing everything up. And you know what? I've tried that with whole tracks. Now, this is just like a 10-second, run through. So, and I really don't like the way Melodyne locks everything because it almost does too much. Now I've got the free version of Melodyne, or the one that comes with Studio One, I should say, Melodyne Essentials. So maybe in the full version of Melodyne, there's a little bit more flexibility in order when you're doing the timing. But at least for Melodyne Essentials, trying to actually lock a particular performance to the grid, it really doesn't work. And it especially doesn't work if you've done the song freestyle. So in other words, you turn the click off, you don't have a grid, and you just do everything, in real time, like you do when you play with a band. So anyway, I hope that I hope that this was helpful for you guys as far as the timing goes. I like to mess with the bend tool a little bit to kind of move whole tracks, and with the bend tool you're actually kind of stretching things, so you got to kind of watch out. It's not like you're just shifting the event; you're actually stretching things. So notes and stuff in a particular audio track might move a little less than the ones at the end. So I just took a chance and did the end, and it actually worked. And it actually made up for actually using the delay setting. I didn't need to use the delay setting, even though I wanted the drums to drive a little bit. When I moved those acoustic guitars using the bend tool, it actually took care of the issue that I was feeling. So let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment in the comments area. And if you guys could, like I said, try to support the channel, become a member of the YouTube channel. The best one is to actually become a Patreon member. You can actually see the links for that in the description of this video. And thanks for watching. So let's see as I look for my outro. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.